What's up? Good morning. So I thought I'd just jump on here real quick and do like a live video, after an event like the Championship Leadership 24 hour, a lot of Facebook messages flying around and a lot of people hyped up, including myself. It's a big event and it's a big accomplishment. But sitting here this morning, getting ready for my work day, and I thought I'd just go ahead and just kind of share some, kind of the what, why, and who about this event, and also, obviously make a little plug for Coach Nate Bailey and his event that he's put on here and that he's been creating. This is the third 24-hour event, and there's more to come. February is going to be another one coming up. And so there's also going to be I want to invite some of you who may want to share this video or know somebody. Quick story real quick before I get started was we met a girl here in our block, just visiting one of our neighbors, and just happened to have a conversation about this, and she ended up showing up. Becca, I think her nickname now was Z, little Z, and she did amazing. And it was really amazing to share that experience with her, and also to be able to look back and go, man, it was this little conversation in a driveway that led her to do this, and now on the other side of it, she's just blown away and amazed. But anyhow, with that, I want to jump into real quick. I don't want to go long on this, but what is it? With the 24-hour leadership event, it's physical, right? But it's more about mental toughness. It's more about showing up, and even prior to showing up, but leading yourself, right? It's a leadership event. We're being trained to be championship leaders, and it's about showing up and first, before you get to the event, leading yourself, doing the training that's needed, showing up every day and putting in the work so you can show up and perform in the event, because there is a physical aspect to it. But overall, it's just a testing of your spirit, though, because even physically, your body gives out, right? I mean, you have moments in the event where you get tapped out physically, and it's tough to move forward. And so it really comes down to now is like, how are you talking to yourself? What are you telling yourself in that moment? What are you believing about yourself? What are you believing about, where you're at and what's coming up next? And really, the key to that, and we mentioned this, is mentioned to us many times during the event, is stay present. And so in life, we have these events that happen in life where it's like we need to stay present. We get too far in the future. We start worrying about the unknown. We go backwards in our minds and think about things that we failed in or didn't accomplish or whatever it is for you. But then we start, pulling from past experiences and creating this really, toxic kind of thought pattern in our minds. So, what is it about? That's what I want to say. It's about mental toughness. It's about leadership, leading yourself first before you can lead others, communication, all kinds of things that go on in the event that are just so valuable once you come back to real world experience. So why? Why do we do an event like this? Why do I do an event like this? Some people will say, and it's fun, all the accolades. Oh, you're awesome. I can't believe it. You're crazy. But, the reality is that a lot of us that show up to this event, I think we sense, there's more to grab in life. There's more for us to achieve. There's more for us to become. And for me, I'm just going to speak for myself on this. I'm very sensitive to unbalance. And when I feel unbalanced, I know that. And what I mean by that is we really operate in four key arenas in life, which is, one is our family, our financial, our faith, and our fitness. And, if we're raising up in one, but not focused on some of the others, we begin to feel real unbalanced. So we might be financially doing great, but family and fitness and faith may be suffering. So, I think for me, going through an event like this, it really helps me balance myself out. Could be, we show up and we're a group of strangers who don't really know each other. Some of us did from the last time around, but some of us don't. And you got to learn how to bond quickly with people and communicate with people. And also, there's frustrations that go on, in the event. It's easy to get frustrated with one another, especially when we're under physical pressure and things like that. So, when you come back in the real world, you're realizing that, things need to be balanced out in your life. So, when we look at fitness, if we're just always doing fitness, but we're not with our families enough, or, et cetera, et cetera. And you can kind of get what I'm talking about. I don't want to go too far off into that, but it really is, for me, about balance, and creating mental toughness, because life's going to bring us, situations where it's going to be out of our control. And when you're in an environment like that, you're not exactly in control. You are. I mean, you can, choose not to do the event or whatever, but ultimately you're not in control. Somebody else is controlling where you're going to go, what you're going to do, and they're telling you how you're going to do it. And it's up to you to to prepare yourself mentally and perform each of those evolutions that are set before you. So who's really good for who's like good for this event? I think everybody can do this event, right? I mean, it's for everyone, but I guess maybe not everyone's for it. But I think a lot of us that go through it realize that, being too comfortable all the time leads to complacency, and that's not what we want. So there's particular individuals that are, again, sensitive to this internal chatter that goes on with them, where it's like comfortable, leads to complacency, being out of balance leads to chaos in your life. So I think for anybody out there that's just going, they sense that, they feel that, this is a great event to show up to. And it's not about a mindless physical beatdown. It's definitely not about that. There's so much more. And honestly, I think everyone that went through it or has gone through it would agree with me. You can't even explain it all completely, because there's moments when you're on these long hikes that you're not allowed to talk, and you have to remain silent, and you're up in your head and you're thinking about your life. You're thinking about all kinds of things. You're beginning to become thankful for the things that you have, and you're in a situation where you're not comfortable, and you're thinking, oh, it'd be so nice to be comfortable. In fact, I remember particularly being on this hike and looking down on this harbor that was on Mead Lake, I think it was, and you could hear the music and the lights and everything, and you're thinking people are down there having a really good time, and I'm up here having a good time because this is where I want to be, but that's super comfortable down there. And again, you begin to have these thoughts of how thankful you are for the comforts you do have. So if that makes sense, awesome. If not, no big deal. So lessons. I'm going to end here. I got 3 lessons that I really picked up from. One is team. I earned this buckle. This is the coveted championship leadership buckle. You have to show up and do certain physical standards, meet physical standards. And I earned that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I did not earn that on my own. There's a couple notable people, I can tell you, Ian Hahn and Paul Casey, that had it not been for those hard chargers, I'm not sure that I would have, got the times that I got. I mean, these two men really pushed, and particularly on the mile run, I chased Ian down. I mean, chased Ian as much as I could, and to keep up with him. And if it wasn't for his leadership in that, I don't know. I don't know how I would have done. I like to think I would have got it, but. And then, Paul Casey, just a hard charger, man, never giving up. And it's not done alone. And we, I know that in life, a lot of things we do, we realize that it takes a team, and it really, really does. Suffering in silence. There was a time when we were on this log, and it was me and a few of the girls on the log, and I just felt like I was carrying most of the load, and I was crumbling under that pressure. My biceps were burning, and I started complaining, and one of the coaches came up to me and was like, hey, you need to suffer in silence. You need to stop your complaining. You're bringing your team down by all your moaning and groaning. And, it's like, you think about that in life, you probably come across people, or maybe even me, myself, have been this, where you're just an emotional tornado, and you're just sucking everybody into your emotions, and you're not helping anything. You're not helping yourself. And that was a huge lesson for me. To suffer in silence. And that doesn't mean you don't reach out and ask someone to help you when you're suffering, but the moaning, the groaning, the pissing, and all that stuff that you do, it doesn't help anybody. So that was a huge lesson. And the other thing was that this too will pass. There was many times when physically I felt like I could not push forward. But as soon as we got a break, as soon as we got a little bit of space in between the pain and the physical, it was like maybe a couple minutes went by, and I felt okay again. So, I think a big lesson in this is like when you're going through something hard, or even when it's a good time, that too will pass. And it's just that thought of nothing stays the same forever. And you're going to be okay. And making decisions when you're, emotionally spent or beat down is probably the worst time to make a decision, because there's going to come a moment when you're going to get some space, and you're going to be able to think clearly and make maybe a better decision than in that emotional moment. So anyhow, I was hesitant to jump on because I didn't want to ramble, and I'm still trying to gather all my thoughts, but I just thought I'd just do this morning, and I want to let Class 3 know I appreciate every single one of you, Coach Floyd, Coach Tree, AKA Coach Tree, Coach Nate Bailey, love you. And if you guys, anybody out there listening to this, or you share this video with somebody, so go to www.100milemindset.com//24. Check out Nate Bailey. Give him get in contact with him, and see if this is something for you. I can guarantee you, if you do step into that arena, you'll be thankful you did, and you'll really get a lot out of it. So love you guys. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.